therapist, Kristen Jacobson.
There's this invisible pattern I keep seeing in high-achieving, emotionally aware adults. They're wired, overthinking, overdoing, overmanaging, and they tell me, I don't have time to rest. I'm just bad at relaxing. If I could just get more organized, I'd feel better. No, you wouldn't, because this isn't about your planner. This isn't about your calendar, your hustle, your self-discipline. Here's what most people miss. Rest doesn't feel hard because you lack structure. Rest feels hard because your nervous system doesn't trust it. The mistake? We think we're dealing with a productivity issue, but really we're dealing with a safety issue. Your body learned that stillness is risky, that slowing down opens the door to judgment, discomfort, failure, rejection. So it does what it's always done. It keeps you moving. And the kicker is most people have no idea that's even happening because they're used to it. This is how they've always lived. I don't blame anyone for this. You're not making it up. You're not weak. We were raised in a culture that rewards burnout and shames stillness, where doing too much is praised and doing nothing is sort of suspect. Even as kids, we learned that being good meant being helpful, or being valuable meant being productive, or being enough meant achieving something. Nobody sat us down and said, hey, it's safe just to exist and be you. So of course your body resists rest. Of course you feel behind when you're not grinding. Of course silence makes your skin crawl. It's not irrational. It's not you being dramatic. It's survival. I talk to people every week, people who are therapists, doctors, entrepreneurs, lawyers, and they all say some version of the same thing. Even when I have time to rest, I can't shut my brain off. When I stop working, I feel wrong, like something bad is about to happen. I feel guilty, like I'm wasting time. That's not mindset, that's nervous system memory. You want to know how I know this so well? Because as therapists, we're taught that self-care is essential to prevent burnout, but that was never clearly defined. It's not self-care when you light a candle, open a book, and you're still on edge the entire time. Or the kind where you say, I'm off today, but your brain is still making lists, still problem solving, still replaying conversations. I was running a full internal system while pretending to rest, which, by the way, is exhausting. I remember this one day clearly. I cleared my schedule. I told myself, today you're going to rest and just have fun, enjoy yourself. No work, no calls, no errands. I sat on the couch, I made some lunch, and within 10 minutes, I was feeling anxious again. My brain kept yelling, you're wasting the day, you're going to fall behind, you're being lazy. I didn't move, I didn't do anything wrong, but my body, it treated rest like a threat. And in that moment, I realized that this isn't about willpower, it isn't about better habits, this is deeper. Something in me equated rest with danger. So let's unpack that. Your nervous system has one job, to keep you safe. It's constantly scanning for signals, both inside and outside, of what feels threatening. This process is called neuroception. It's subconscious, and it kicks in before you even realize it. And here's where it gets real. If you grew up in a home where emotions weren't safe, where love was tied to success, you were criticized for laziness, or maybe you got attention only when you performed, then your nervous system learned that being still equals being exposed. Stillness left room for shame, and stillness meant vulnerability. So what did you do? You adapted, you moved, you stayed alert. You worked hard, overfunctioned, achieved, because that's what felt safe. You don't need to remember the moment it started, you just need to understand that your body remembers. So now, when you try to rest, your system doesn't say, finally, peace. It says, why are we slowing down? Something must be wrong. Get up. So let me give you a picture of what high-functioning anxiety actually looks like. You can't stop thinking. You feel guilty for relaxing. You over-apologize, over-prepare, over-analyze. You replay things you said 3 days ago. You can't stop until everything's perfect, and even then, it still doesn't feel right. You fill every blank space in your calendar because emptiness feels unbearable. You wake up tired, you go to bed tired, and in between, you perform like hell. And here's the brutal part. You don't look anxious, you look competent, which is why nobody asks if you're okay, because you're holding it all together. But you know you're holding it with tension. You know you're one small thing away from snapping. And the only way to know how to cope is to stay busy, It's not your fault. It's emotional conditioning. Now, here's the question everyone eventually asks. Okay, so what do I do about it? And the answer is you don't force rest. You actually rebuild your relationship to it. So start with rest tolerance, not deep rest, not restorative self-care, just moments of not doing. So here are some examples of what that can look like. Maybe pause for 60 seconds, do nothing, notice what comes up. Or set a timer and let yourself stare out the window for a little bit. Don't scroll, don't fix, just be. And you'll probably feel agitated, and that's normal. You'll want to check your phone, resist it for 10 seconds longer. That's the rep, that's the work. You're not trying to relax. You're trying to show your body that rest won't get you hurt. Other things that can help is breath work that emphasizes slow, safe exhales. Body scanning, not to fix anything, just to notice where you're holding tension. And naming the voice that panics during rest. Whose voice is it? Is it a parent, a teacher, a version of you from 20 years ago? And when that voice says you're being lazy, or this is dangerous, or you should be doing more, you say, I'm safe, I'm allowed to pause, I'm not a child anymore. It's not corny, it's actually repatterning. And no, it won't feel instant. You've had decades of training in hypervigilance, so don't expect rest to feel like a spa day. Expect it to feel weird. Weird is actually good. It means you're doing something new. So here's the truth. If rest makes you feel like something's wrong, it's not because you're broken. It's because your body learned that stillness equals exposure. But you can retrain that. Not by relaxing harder, not by quitting your job and meditating in a forest, but by showing your nervous system again and again that nothing bad happens when I pause. This is how real change happens. Small, quiet, repetitive, and safe. And it builds over time. One slow moment at a time. One skipped to-do at a time. One deep breath that doesn't have a purpose except to exist. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You just need to stop treating stillness like a threat, because it isn't. It might just be the thing that saves you. So when that voice pipes up again, you're falling behind, you haven't done enough today, you can rest when everything's done. Pause, look it in the eye, and ask yourself, am I actually unsafe, or does my nervous system just need an update? That's where the healing starts. If you still feel wired when you rest, I break down how high-functioning anxiety rewires your brain in the next video. Click through, or just breathe first. Either way, you're not alone.